What's up, guys? Coach Dave here with Condemn Labs. We're going to talk about Lockdown today. This is our creatine product. A lot of people use this at different times throughout the day. Your muscles have a finite amount of space to store creatine, and it's used during excessive exercise. Creatine helps replenish ADP, which is adenosine diphosphate, and a phosphate molecule, back to ATP, which your body uses for cellular energy. That's responsible for all your muscle contractions combined with glucose. What this product does is make sure that your body can replenish ADP back to ATP and facilitate training past those sticking points, past those failure points.
I know some coaches pull that out for their athletes towards the end. Do you do the same thing with your guys, or?
So a lot of people think that this makes you hold water, and I don't believe that it does. Me and a lot of other coaches have had discussions about this. You can Google, a million people might give you a million different answers, but what this does is help volumize the cell. So when people are carbing up for a show, they want to make sure that you have as much intercellular fluid as possible. Not intra, not extra, inter. You want it in the cell. And that's going to cause volumization, which is going to push those muscles out against the skin. Creatine is amazing at doing that. So yes, it does make you hold water, but inside the cell, not any subcutaneous water or any intracellular water, which again, could be possible if you overdo it, but if you stick to the recommended serving sizes, you won't have any of those issues.
All right. And then I know some people just choose to use creatine always pre, some people always do it post. I know most people will just say, like, whatever the fuck it is you do, use it at the same exact time.
Right.
When is it that you use it?
So I like to implement this product intra-workout, which is probably unique to some people. Since your muscles do have a finite amount of space to hold creatine, it gets usually broken down while you train. A lot of people take it post-workout, so it reabsorbs and your body is fresh to use it again the next day. I like to use it intra in conjunction with BCAA, EAAs, and some carb powder, because I do feel like carbohydrates, especially simple sugars, help utilization and absorption of this much better. And I like to facilitate it throughout my training so my body has a constant supply of it. If it gets excessively broken down during an extended training period, I will always have a steady supply going into those trained muscles to make sure that my stamina, my endurance, and my energy levels are always at peak.
Oh, and then what's your opinion on the whole, like, creatine loading? Because I know some people kind of use it where they're like, if you just take your regular, like, what is it, 5 grams, I think is normally what it is. They say if you just do that over an extended, like, 30-day period, then you kind of hit, like, saturation period.
Right.
And some people do the loading to kind of rush the saturation. Where do you stand on that?
So I'm not a big creatine loader. I don't think it's necessary. Like I said, your body does have a finite amount of space to hold creatine. So when you're taking it to begin with, the 5-gram serving is perfect. Again, depending on how big you are, how much muscle tissue you have, how hard you train is going to facilitate how much creatine you're going to need to fill that storage capacity up. Once you meet that storage capacity, whatever that is, replenishing that, you won't need as much. So if you've never taken creatine before in your life, loading it might be a good idea, because like I said, you do want to reach your peak saturation for those muscles. And then once you've reached that saturation, your body's not going to break it down to 0 every time you train. So you might not need as many grams per day to refill as you did to saturate to begin with. So again, it's an individual basis. If you've never taken any creatine, you're not big into red meat, which is rich in creatine, you might need a little bit of a loading phase to reach those peak saturations. And then once you've hit that, your body should be able to utilize whatever it needs, and you should be able to refill those saturated levels with not as many grams.
What's it called? So I know as far as ours, because this isn't just monohydrate, we have Hydromax in there, so then how does that come into play?
What's unique about our creatine product Lockdown is the glycerol powder, known as Hydromax. It helps with cellular hydration. Creatine and water go hand in hand. It helps volumize the cell. It helps pull water into the cell. Hydromax is the highest yield glycerol powder for that, and it helps pull that creatine into the cell and utilize it to replenish ADP back into ATP. So that's my take on Lockdown by Condemn Labs. I think it's an amazing product. If anybody has any questions about this, you can DM me on my Instagram. You can hit us up on the website, condemnlabs.com. Thank you guys for checking it out, and I'll talk to you soon.